Hello students, welcome to our today's lesson. Today we shall know about the friction and frictional force, types of friction. Then we shall solve one mathematical problem related to friction. So our first topic is friction. So what is friction? Listen carefully. When a body moves or tends to move over the surface of another body, a force comes into play which acts parallel to the surface of contact and opposes the relative motion. I repeat, when a body moves or tends to move over the surface of another body, a force comes into play which act parallel to the surface of contact and opposes the relative motion. This opposing force is called friction. Suppose this is our plane surface and suppose this is contact of surface and this is one body. This body is moving over this surface. So this direction is the direction of motion and this is the contact of surface. Contact of surface and this is direction of motion. Okay. Suppose this is wooden block. So consider a wooden block placed on a horizontal surface and give it a gentle push. Okay. Then the block slides through a small distance and comes to rest. Then according to Newton's second law, a retarding force must be acting on the block. This retarding force or opposing force is called friction or frictional force. Okay. So what is frictional force? Consider a wooden block placed on a horizontal surface and give it a gentle push. The block slides through a small distance and come rest. Suppose this block moves in this direction, then here it become rest. So no movement or no motion in this place. Then according to Newton's second law, a retarding force must be acting on the block. The retarding force or opposing force is called friction or frictional force. Clear? Okay. Now our second topic is types of friction. Types of friction. So remember, there are three types of friction. Number one is static friction. Static friction. Number two is limiting friction. Limiting friction. Number three is kinetic friction. Kinetic friction. Okay. There are three types of friction. Number one is static friction. Number two, limiting friction. Number three, kinetic friction. Now we have to know separately all the frictions. So, as shown in this figure, the force of friction always acts tangential to the surface in contact and in a direction opposite to the direction of or relative motion of the body. Friction is parallel component of contact force between two bodies in contact. These forces are basically electromagnetic in nature. Friction can operate between a given pair of solids, between a solid and a fluid, or between a pair of fluids. Frictional force exerted by fluids is called viscous force. So later in the chapter of viscosity, we shall discuss about viscous force. For that moment, just remember, frictional force exerted by fluids is called viscous force. So in case of fluids, the name of frictional force changes to viscous force. Now, if a body is at rest and no pulling force is acting on it, force of friction on it is 0. So, now what is static friction? There are 3 types of friction. Number 1 is static friction. So, laws for static friction, or some topics or some terms you have to know for static friction. It is the opposing force that comes into play when one body is at rest and a force acts to move it over the surface of another body, just like this figure. Okay. Now, if the applied force F is such that the body remains at rest in spite of the action of the force on it, the static frictional force Fs, in case of this, the static frictional force Fs, we can write Fs is equals to F. What is F? If the applied force F, this F, if the applied force F is such that the body remains at rest in spite of the action of the force on it, the static frictional force Fs is equals to, we can write F. Okay. And if a body is at rest and no pulling force is acting on it, force of friction on it is 0. And one more thing about static friction is, it is a self-adjusting force and is always equal and opposite to the applied force. Okay, so these terms we have to know for static friction. Now come to next friction, next type of friction, limiting friction. So for limiting friction, I am drawing one figure here. Suppose this is one block, this is normal and applied force direction, applied force, this is a surface. Okay, so what is limiting friction? If the applied force is increased, the force of static friction also increased. If the applied force exceeds a certain or maximum value, the body starts moving. This maximum force of static friction up to which body does not move is called limiting friction. I repeat, if the applied force is increased, the force of static friction also increased. This Fs is proportional to F. So if F is increased, then Fs also increase. So if the applied force exceeds a certain or a maximum value, the body starts moving. This body starts moving. The maximum force of static friction up to which body does not move is called limiting friction. So up to maximum value, the body does not move. So this particular or this maximum value is known as limiting force, limiting friction. Thus, static friction is a self-adjusting force with an upper limiting called limiting friction. So the magnitude of limiting friction between any two bodies in contact is directly proportional to the normal reaction between them. So we can write F, that means the applied force is proportional to R, or Fe is equals to mu s R. So if we write is equals to a symbol in place of this proportional symbol, we have to write one constant every time. So in this case, mu s is the coefficient of limiting friction for the given surface in contact. Okay, mu s is the coefficient of limiting friction for the given surface in contact. In place of mu s, we can write mu L, L for limiting, and mu L is the coefficient of limiting friction for the given surface in contact. Now, in limiting friction also, you have to remember some laws. So, there are 4 laws of limiting friction. Okay. For limiting friction, you have to remember the 4 laws. Number 1, the value of the limiting friction depends upon the nature of the two surfaces in contact and their state of roughness. So, the value of the limiting friction depends this to one of the body and this surface. So, between the two surface, the limiting frictional value depends. Okay, the value of the limiting friction depends upon the nature of the two surfaces in contact and their state of roughness. So this is law number 1. Then next, number 2, the force of friction is tangential or parallel to the two surfaces in contact and act opposite to the direction in which the body would start moving on applying the force. Okay, now what is the direction for the force of friction? Is tangential or parallel to the two surfaces. So if this is one surface, then the direction or the force of friction is tangential or parallel to the surface. That surface. Okay, surfaces in contact acts opposite to the direction in which the body would start moving. So, and what is the direction? If the body moves in this direction, then the force or friction, direction should be opposite to the movement or motion direction of the body. So, if the body moves in right hand direction, in this direction, then the direction for force of friction is opposite. That means this direction. Clear? Now, number 3, the value of limiting friction is independent of the area of the surface in contact so long as the normal reaction remains the same. Okay. Number 4, the value of limiting static friction, that means Fs maximum, between two given surfaces is directly proportional to the normal reaction. R between the two surfaces. So, Fs maximum is proportional to R. Again, from here we can write Fs with this proportional symbol. If we write is equals to symbol, we have to write one constant. So, here mu s into R. What is the mu s? Mu s is the coefficient of, or the proportionality constant is called coefficient of static friction. This mu s is coefficient of static friction. Okay. So, Fs is equals to mu s into R. So, for this we can draw one diagram here. suppose this is our body and this is surface. This is the direction of Fs, opposite, and this is the direction of applied force, and this is normal force, normal reaction, and the weight is downward direction. Okay. So again from here we can write R, from this figure we can write R is equals to omega is equals to W is equals to mg. Weight is equals to mass into acceleration. So m is equals to mass of the block, mass of this block. W is equals to weight of these blocks. So from here we can write mu s is equals to Fs divided by R. So Fs divided by R. That means mu s is equals to limiting friction divided by normal reaction. R is normal reaction. So mu s is equals to limiting friction divided by normal reaction. Okay. Okay. Now our third type of friction, that is kinetic friction. Okay, so what is kinetic friction? It is the opposing force that comes into play when one body actually slides over the surface of another body. Force of kinetic friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction, and the ratio Fk by N is called coefficient of kinetic friction. So in the same way we have to calculate the coefficient for kinetic friction. Now in case suppose force of kinetic friction if Fk, then it is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Normal reaction suppose N. Suppose here normal reaction is N. So Fk is proportional to N, and the ratio of Fk by N or Fk to N is called coefficient of normal reaction, or we can write this is equals to mu k. Okay, so mu k is the coefficient of kinetic friction. Value of mu k is slightly less than mu s. So mu k less than mu s. What is mu s? Mu s is the coefficient for limiting friction, static friction. Okay. It does not depend on relative speed, but for very high speed its value is 0. This mu k does not depend on relative speed, but for very high speed its value is 0. Whenever limiting friction is converted into kinetic friction, body starts motion with a lurch. The kinetic friction opposes the relative motion and has a constant value which depends on the nature of two surfaces in contact. The kinetic friction does not depend on velocity. So for kinetic friction you have to remember two things. One is the kinetic friction opposes the relative motion and has a constant value which depends on the nature of two surfaces in contact. And number two, the kinetic friction does not depend on velocity. And for this kinetic friction, there are two types of kinetic friction here. One is sliding friction. One is sliding friction. Another one is rolling friction. What is sliding friction? The opposing force that comes into play when one body is actually sliding over the surface of the other body is called sliding friction. For example, a flat block is moving over a horizontal table. And what is rolling friction? It is the opposing force that comes into play when a body of symmetric shape, wheel, cylinder or disc, etc., rolls over the surface of another body. Force of rolling friction, Fr, is directly proportional to the normal reaction N. And in this case also, so force of this rolling friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction N and inversely proportional to the radius of the wheel. So inversely proportional means 1 by R, so N by R. So from here we can write again Fr is equals to mu R N by R. So this mu R constant known as coefficient of rolling friction. Coefficient of rolling friction. It has the unit and dimension of length. And you have to remember mu R less than mu K less than mu S. Mu K is the coefficient of kinetic friction and mu S is the coefficient for sliding friction. Okay. So, our last topic is now we solve one mathematical problem. So, for mathematical problem from this chapter or this topic, friction and rolling friction, mathematical problem is very important for your final exam. So, you have to solve by yourself so many examples from your textbook or from your reference book. I am solving one here and others you have to practice. Okay. So, mathematical. Suppose a block of weight W rests on a horizontal plane. A block of weight W rests on a horizontal plane. A force P inclined at an angle theta to the plane is applied to the block until it is on the motion. Find the value of coefficient of friction. So simply first we have to draw the free body diagram. Suppose this is our surface and this is our mentioned body. Then the direction. So a block of weight, suppose weight of the block is W, rest on a horizontal plane. A force P inclined at an angle theta to the plane. So with the plane, a force of this P angle is theta to the plane is applied to the block until it is on the motion. Find the value of coefficient of friction. So in case also friction is there, we have to find out the value of friction. Okay. Now again we have to draw one free body diagram. So suppose this is our surface, this is block, then weight is downward direction, then suppose if this force and angle is theta, then the horizontal component of this force is P cos theta and vertical component of this P is P sin theta. Okay, we know all these from vector. So this P vector, horizontal component is P cos theta and vertical component is P sin theta. Clear? So up to this is clear and we have to write the frictional force is equals to mu n. Okay. Okay. Now the free body diagram of the block is shown here. Force P is resolved in vertical and horizontal direction. Normal reaction N, we can write N is equals to W minus P sine theta. See, from here, this direction is W and this is P sine theta. Okay. We can draw here also P sine theta. Okay, like this. So this P sine theta upward direction and downward direction is if as the direction is opposite, so it's W minus P sine theta. So it's actually normal reaction. So normal reaction N is equals to, we can write W minus P sine theta. Okay. Normal reaction is not always equal to weight. You have to remember, normal reaction is not always equal to weight. Now, what is the P cos theta value? P cos theta is equals to, here left hand side, mu n. So from here we can write P cos theta is equals to mu n. So this is equals to mu, and we have to put the value of n from this equation. So it's W minus P sine theta. So what is our question? We have to find out the value of coefficient of friction, that means mu. So mu is equals to, we can write P cos theta divided by W minus P sine theta. So P cos theta divided by W minus P sine theta. Okay. So this is one simple problem related to friction. You have to solve more. In exam, question comes from this mathematical problem for 2 or 3 marks. So that's all for today. Thank you all of you.